I'm out here on site looking at a foundation wall, so I thought I'd throw a few tips out there on what to look for and things you might think about if you're getting ready to do any type of an addition that's going to require any type of footing and foundation wall. So right now I'm looking at just foundation walls, and so let's flip the camera and I'll show you a few things to think about. Okay, so you can see, obviously, this is a foundation crew, so they've got their own foundation forms. You could probably use, 3/4 plywood, or you could go rent forms. You can go to different locations and rent forms if you need them. This particular contractor has went in and they've added a line right here. That's going to be the top of their wall. They've put finish nails in there so that they make sure they have a nice smooth top to their foundation wall, and they will go in after they're poured and they will wet set their J-bolts, their anchor bolts, and they'll set them per whatever standard code is where we're at, and per the code book. Anchor bolts are within 12 inches of the plate breaks, so there'd be one off each corner, and then every 6 feet. Obviously when we're getting into footings, which we'll talk about in a different video, you're making sure you got your frost depth, and then that your wall height is tall enough to get you above grade. So when you're working on materials, you can make sure you get something that maybe you can reuse. Like I said, you might be able to get away with like 3/4 inch plywood. Just make sure you have lots of kickers. This particular guy, I don't see very many kickers, but his system may not require that. But the last thing that you want is for this wall right here to start bowing on you or moving when you pour it. And so there might be tons and tons of like 2x4 kickers that come off all angles to make sure that this thing does not move. But again, you can see they've got finished nails in there for their top of wall. They got their rebar poured, so they are ready to go. So just kind of a quick recap on those few little things to think about if you're doing any type of foundation wall. Just get yourself some materials that you can reuse if you're a do-it-yourselfer. Obviously, you're not going to go buy foundation forms because you're probably not going to reuse them very many times. You might go rent them. I've had people go rent them from places. That's a great option and can save you because you just return them when you're done. Make sure you get top of wall height as flat as you can get it, because you're going to end up building on top of that thing and you want it flat. And then make sure you get your rebar in there. You might end up with a 6-inch or an 8-inch wide foundation wall. Typically 6 inch is pretty standard for any type of homeowner, do-it-yourself, small addition type projects. A large, huge, brand new house with a basement, you might end up with an 8-inch wall. But that's kind of about it. Foundation walls are pretty simple. Install your rebar per your approved plans, and you should be good to go. This has been with Building Code Tips. Hit the link below. Visit buildingcodetips.com for all types of more information on footings and foundations.